Thanks for joining us. This is TV360 News Now. I am Olayemi Eson. The Code of Conduct Tribunal has adjourned the case brought against Senate President Bukola Saraki till March 24. The tribunal, led by Justice Danladi Umar, fixed the date after taking arguments for against the motion. Saraki was represented by over 80 lawyers, among whom 6 senior advocates of Nigeria. Saraki's lawyer, Kanu Agabe, SAN, who led the legal team, argued that the tribunal lacked jurisdiction to entertain the charges. Saraki has been charged with 13-count charge of false declaration of assets while he was governor of Kwara State.
It seems to me simple and straightforward that if you bring a man under suspicion, you should tell him the basis of the suspicion. Our constitution says so. Why not? If the suspicion is justifiable, you must tell him the basis for your suspicion.
If you are not pleased with any decision, you appeal against it. So I've tried once, somewhere else it worked, so well, it didn't work here, probably because they were brandishing the word jurisdiction. That with the court, without jurisdiction, the court will not be able to do anything. So, the court felt that, the tribunal felt that, well, let's resolve the issue of jurisdiction first. I've had an argument, you know that they have turned it into a child play. So, the Supreme Court will resolve something, then you come and change it.
The Supreme Court has ordered former Abia State Governor Orji Uzor Kalu to submit himself for trial on the money laundering charges brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The Apex Court also dismissed a similar appeal by an associate to the former governor, Ode Jones, on similar grounds. Justice Sulaiman Galadima, who read the lead judgment in both appeals, upheld the concurrent decisions of the Federal High Court, Abuja, and the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal, which had both earlier dismissed the accused person's objection to their trial. The Apex Court directed Kalu and his associates to submit themselves to trial. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the religious community and political leaders to mobilize their followers against corruption and other crimes. Buhari made the call at the International Islamic Conference on Peace and Nation Building at Yar Adua Center, Abuja. He stated that the call had become important in view of the fact that Nigeria had suffered many years of official neglect and corruption, leading to the common man's untold hardship. Still on the president, the Nigerian leader says he will relentlessly pursue Islamic sect Boko Haram until they become an item of history. He said the activities of Boko Haram was wrongly attributed to Islam. A statement comes days after 2 bomb blasts in the mosque in Maiduguri left over 26 people dead and 18 others injured. The army says 2 female suicide bombers carried out the attack. The 60th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, CSW60, is currently holding at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Representatives of member states, UN entities, and NGOs from all regions of the world have gathered to attend the session. This year's session will focus on gender equality as well as women's empowerment and is linked to sustainable development. A member of the Nigerian delegation at the conference, Mulikat Akande Adiola, said the CSW60 serves as some sort of evaluation to understand how far member nations have promoted women empowerment, and sadly, Nigeria had not done so well.
It's like an appraisal of all the member countries on how far they've gone with the issue of women, with different themes on a yearly basis. This year we're talking of equal opportunity, gender mainstreaming, violence against women and all that, what each of the countries have done in this regard. And I think despite the giant strides we've made in Nigeria, still looks as if we've not really achieved anything, because one, even though VAT bill has been passed, I don't think anybody has been prosecuted on account of this. As you know, the states have not domiciled this particular bill yet. It's not been domesticated in the states, so really it's not really in use yet. We still have incidences of violence all over the place in our country, and I don't know, these are things that ordinarily everybody knows they are wrong, but they're still being perpetrated, and I don't know. But for the equal opportunity, I would say that Nigeria, there is no equal opportunity for men and women.
Mulikat Akodi-Adiola also expressed disappointment at the Nigerian Senate's decision not to pass the gender equality bill.
I was in shock. I was, because I didn't believe that it could be thrown out like that. But I'm sure since I got to hear of it here, I'm sure there will be other reasons why the bill was thrown out, and this is not the first time such thing is happening in the Senate or in the House. I think we just need to re-strategize and try to lay the bill again to see. It is for the benefit of Nigerians, whether men or women. It is for the benefit of Nigerians. We call ourselves giants of Africa. There's nothing giant about us. If we still feel that the Equal Opportunity Bill is not VAP, is the Equal Opportunity Bill shouldn't be passed, then I don't see why we're giants. The men are not that favorable to policies or proposed legislations affecting women. So that's why we're clamoring for more women in parliament. We're clamoring for more women, in positions so that they can support, the action of the government in this regard. But apart from that, I feel that women generally should be concerned.
Also joining in slamming the Senate's refusal on the gender equality bill is Kema Chikwe, a national woman leader of Nigeria's main opposition party, PDP. Chikwe, in a statement issued on Friday, expressed profound disappointment and displeasure over the dismissal of the Nigerian Gender and Equality Opportunities Bill. The former aviation minister said the implication of throwing out the bill is that the incidences of rape, domestic violence, maternal mortality, poverty, which have been ravaging the country, will continue unchallenged. She added that the dismissal of that bill essentially undermines the contributions of Nigerian women are making towards national development. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will implement policies that will revive Nigeria's agricultural sector and reposition it as the mainstay of the national economy. A statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, to the president said Buhari spoke when he granted audience to Bulgaria's new ambassador to Nigeria. The president told the envoys that Nigeria would welcome the further strengthening of relations with their countries, especially in the areas of agriculture, solid minerals, and trade. The Bank of Industry on Thursday formally launched a 10 billion naira youth entrepreneurship support project to empower youth with loans to start businesses. Speaking at the launch of the project in Abuja, the Ministry for Industry, Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Enelama, said that its ministry would partner all agencies of government to create new jobs. The acting managing director of BOI, Wahid Olaguju, said that the participants under the scheme could access up to 10 million naira loan with single-digit interest rates and repaying over 3 to 5 years. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, said that the state was partnering with BOI on job creation. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, in Abuja unveiled the Nigeria Rebirth Arts Project aimed at making Nigeria great Buhari, who is the grand patron of the rebirth, was represented by the wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Osinbajo, said that the need for the national rebirth had become necessary as the country was being faced with some challenges. Buhari said youth were the agents of change in any nation as they constituted the largest part of population of the country. Highlights of the occasion was presentation of certificates to hundreds of young people, Nigeria's rebirth ambassadors from various schools. We go for a short break now. We'll return.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man. But this is where you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it, and I'm one of those very few. I'm forever taking it personal. I will say 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we train them. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. Nigeria raised 125 billion naira in local currency denominated bonds maturing in 2036 and 2026 and 2020 at an auction on Wednesday, paying lower yields than at the previous auction on February 10. The Debt Management Office, DMO, said it had sold 40 billion naira of 2036 paper at par with 12.40% yield, 40 billion naira of the 2026 debt at 12.09% returns against 12.39% at the previous auction in February. It also sold 20 billion naira of the 2020 debt at 11.33% against 12.19% previously. Nigeria is set to ramp up the amount of crude oil it's wrapped for vital gasoline imports by more than a third. This comes as it struggled with the worst economic crisis in years and confusion in its graft-ridden energy sector. A more than 60% drop in global oil prices since 2014 has hammered Nigeria's economy and triggered a currency crisis, leaving it short of funds to pay for imports of oil products. Oil fell slightly on Friday as investors booked profit at the end of a fourth consecutive week of gains, but prices remained close to 2016 highs on expectations of a production freeze by major exporters. Brent crude was 20 cents lower at $48.34 per barrel. U.S. crude was down 10 cents at $40.10 per barrel. Oil prices have climbed by more than 50% from 12-year lows reached in December, supported as the OPEC floated the idea of a production freeze, boosting Brent from the about $27 and U.S. crude from around $26. 2 people have tested positive for Ebola in Guinea. This comes hours after the WHO, World Health Organization, declared neighboring Sierra Leone's latest outbreak was over. A government agency spokesman said 4 people were tested and 2 were found to be Ebola. They were all from Korokpara village, where 3 people from the same family have died in the past few weeks from diarrhea and vomiting. The world's worst recorded Ebola virus is believed to have started in Guinea. More than 11,300 people have died since the outbreak began in 2013 in Nigeria, Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. The DNA and fingerprints of Paris attack suspect Salam Abdeslam have been found in a Brazil flat raided this week. Abdeslam may have escaped Tuesday police raid in which one suspect was shot dead. He was behind the November 13 Paris attack that claimed the lives of about 130 people. Abdeslam, a French national born in Brazil, has been the subject of the massive manhunt since the attack. The Nigerian under-20 female national team, the Super Falconets, has been drawn a Group B of the 2016 FIFA Under-20 Women World Cup. The tournament, which will be held in Papua New Guinea, is scheduled to be played between 13th of November and 3rd December 2016. The Falconets, who were the runners-up in the last edition in 2014, were paired with Spain, Canada, and Japan in Group B. They will face Japan in their first match on November 13 before meeting Canada this day 3 days later. Defending champions Barcelona have been paired with Spanish counterparts Atletico Madrid in the quarter-final draw of the 2015-2016 Champions League. The Spanish champions, who overcame English side Arsenal, face a tough task to overcome the same side who eliminated them at the same stage in the 2014 Champions League. The French side will be looking for a second straight victory against English opposition after overcoming Chelsea in the second round. Liverpool manager is set to return to his old club after both clubs were paired in the quarter-final of the Europa. Liverpool, who overcame eternal rivals Manchester United in the second round, face a tough task against the 2013 Champions League finalists, who trashed English club Tottenham 5-1 on aggregation in the second round. And that's TV360 News Now. My name is Olayemi Eson.